Morning, day 16. It's that time again. Best cup of the day. So today I think I'm going to try to attempt to organize my freezer. I cannot find anything in there that I want. Either that or I just don't have it, and I'm going to have to switch to plan B and make something else because I do not want to go to the store. So let's go take a look in the refrigerator and see what's for breakfast. There's all my smiling faces. Somebody asked about who these people are. So this is my family, my children, and my mother. These are my two sons. These are my grandchildren. This is my Allie. She was my soul dog. My daughter wrote me this note years ago, and I just keep it with the pictures. Me with two of my grandchildren. My son, my one son and I. More grandchildren. I have 5, so they're all pictures of the 5 grandchildren. Tom and I, a couple summers ago. And more grandchildren, my 2 sons and I. Tom and I. This is when my one son got married, and this is an ultrasound of his baby girl, which now is this granddaughter. So these are all my grandchildren and my loved ones. So this picture is a multi-generational picture, 4 generations. My mother, me of course, my daughter, and her daughter. She has 3 boys and a daughter. So that's a treasured photo of the girls in the family. Well, I'm starting to clean out my freezer, and there's no rhyme or reason to anything in there. Last time I organized it, I did know where things were, but now I've lost track after just cramming things in there. So I found this whole tub of fruits. It's got strawberries and pumpkin puree. What is this? Kiwi. So lots of things to make smoothies. And, you know, if these have a little bit of ice, as long as they're not freezer burned, they're still okay. I have some whole lemons and limes in there. And what is this? I have no idea. I think it's bananas. Bananas. Got lots of frozen bananas. So, and this is all frozen cheese. Yep, I have lots of frozen cheese. Now out of this, I had a couple zucchinis. I just did these maybe last month. I made zoodles out of these, and I have 2 packs of those. And I found some crispy dill pickles. I have okara, which you have left over from making soy milk. You can make meats with that, lots of protein in there. I've got some aquafaba that's frozen, some broth veggies for broth. So I want to organize this all, and then I'll be back later. My house, because I want something in my freezer that I can pull out, and I've had these for a long time. I use those for gardening, for gathering herbs and things, and then they're perforated so I can wash it, but I have 2 of these, so I'm going to use one in my freezer, And let me show you what I'm going to do. So my freezer is extremely deep. It's a big fridge. And things that are in the back get shoved back there, and I never know what's back there. So this will fit perfectly in here, and then I can just slide it out and see what's back there. So the freezer that I have at my mom's is really well organized. I logged everything that was in there, but this one's a mess and I can't find anything. So let me show you a couple of things I've pulled out of here already to cook up. Now for New Year's, I want to make some sauerkraut. And I was already thinking, oh, I have to get a recipe for sausages, like a kielbasa kind of sausage, or I have to make some sort of a pork or whatever. So when I was looking, I found this smoky tempeh, and this is like a fake and bacon, and these are really good. I like them. And I have a couple tomatoes too, so I'm going to cook this up. And not for dinner tonight or anything, but I'm going to cook this up the next day or two and have a BLT because I still have bread, I have lettuce. So I'm going to let that thaw in the fridge. Then I found 2 sausages from Aldi's, meatless sausages, and I like their sausage, but they haven't had them lately, so I want to use those up. And then I found these porkless bites. Now it's for sweet and sour pork, but I'm not going to use it for that. I'm going to use it in my sauerkraut. So I will have sausage and porkless bites and sauerkraut for New Year's. So those things are out of my freezer, and I plan on cooking those up this coming up week. And yay, I finally found something to cook up. My last shelf, and these I'm just going to leave because I know those are all fruits and just some bagels. And down there, those are all veggies, so I just need to use those up. I'm not going to look through those because I did that not that long ago. But back here, I know I have a lot of tofu. So let's see what else is in. So I found all these veggie stock scraps. So I have a lot of scraps to make soup this winter. So I'm not going to save any more scraps for now. I will just put them in the composter because it's going to take me a while to use all these up. So when I was cleaning my freezer, I found all these frozen mushrooms. And what I'm going to do with them is I'm going to stick them in my dehydrator. And I'm just going to dehydrate them because they're not going to last real long in the freezer. And I found 3 popsicles, but they've been in there forever. And then these are actual meat products that I have a very tiny freezer and refrigerator in the basement. And I'm going to put those things in there for my grandson because it's nothing that I eat. So all in all, not a whole lot of food got wasted. There were a couple things that were beyond help, but not many. So there you go. All right, let me show you what I did with my freezer. I spent a couple hours now, and ta-da, now I know what I have. So up here I have all meats, vegetarian meats, walnuts, and these are all vegan cheeses. These are burgers, so I know exactly where everything is up there, and it's easy to get to. So here in this one, I have more vegan meats. I didn't realize I had so many. And these are just leftovers that I want to eat up. Some garlic bread, so I'll eat these up. And then back here, all those meats are in the slide out trays, so if I need them, I'll just take this out, slide it out, and be done. All this is fruits and the pumpkin and bananas that I froze, my frozen chia seed berry jelly, and one more serving of the pickles, the fried pickles. Down here, these are also all vegan meats. I didn't realize I had so many. And some of these are homemade, so I want to use those up. This is another leftover. It's just a bean, rice, and cheese burrito. I'll have that for a meal. Then down here, again, it's on the sliding tray, so I can get to what's in the back. And in the back, I have a lot of Beyond Burger and things like that. So then down here, I have two things. In this, I have a lot of tofu. Didn't realize I had as much as I have. And in the back behind this, I have all my veggie scraps. So if I want to make some soup, I can just pull these out and get to my scraps. These are scraps I froze for my worms. So, and like I said down here, these are all fruits. These are all veggies down here. Then in the door, these are all leftover meals and shredded zucchini. I have a few herbs here, and they'll be fine for cooking, even though they have some ice on them. And some chopped up onions that didn't fit in my veggie drawer. Down here I have actually more vegan cheeses, and I have some pesto, spicy basil pesto. I didn't even know I had that. And then down here I just have some miscellaneous things. So the freezer is looking pretty good compared to how it was. Now I know exactly what I have, and I'll reorganize it as I go along. But everything is pretty much where it should be, and now it'll be way easier to use everything up. Cleaning out the freezer and the fridge has made me a little hungry, and I usually don't eat lunch, but I came across some of these pickle chips, so I put those in the air fryer. I'm going to eat those, and this is the last of my salad. I have some croutons in my stash and some fruit and seed stuff, and then I'm going to use this champagne dressing because I want to get that used up too, and I won't use all of it now, but I do have extras of these. But I looked in my stash for extra ranch dressing, and to my horror, I didn't have any extra, but I'm not going to the store for that until I really, really need to go. I'll just eat something else. All right, this is lunch, day 16. I forget. Anyway, a little bit of lunch and some things out of the freezer. Okay, well, good morning. I wanted to have a little coffee chat. Still got my little gnomes here. It's almost time for these guys to be retired till next year, and then it'll be a brand new mug again. Today, just my regular hazelnut. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, I've had a couple questions about no spend, low spend. So I do have two playlists in my playlist where I did that, I think it was last year, and I did it for quite a while. I want to do that again this year. May have been 2019. I don't really recall. But anyway, I have two playlists. And there's about 40 videos in there of what I did. With the one, I actually followed a book that I have. I can't remember the name of the book, but I do address it in the playlist. Anyway, the first thing that I'm going to do is write down rules for myself of what I can and cannot buy. how much I can spend in that particular category. Um, I haven't made that list yet, but I'll share it with you when I do. So that's the first thing I do. That doesn't mean I can't buy anything. I mean, unless that's what you want to do. But I can go weeks, like a week at a time, and not go to the store and not buy anything. But eventually, there are things that you're going to need. But it's mostly just buying things that you need. And occasionally, and this is where the low spend comes in, buying things that you want. Because if you don't do that once in a while, you're probably going to fail because we as humans like to be rewarded every now and then, good job, yay, you did a great job. So that you kind of have to factor that in. And whether that's buying yourself a sweater at the thrift store or, you know, saving some, putting some money aside and buying whatever you think you want, I think, this is my opinion, I think that's an important part of a low no spend. So most of what I want to do is going to be a no spend, especially on food, because as you all know, if you've seen my freezer, it's packed to the hilt, and I really need to change that. Part of this whole process for me, I was not always a frugal person. In fact, I was a spendthrift. I worked, I made decent money, and I bought what I wanted. So that's why I have pretty much everything I want right now. And I really don't need any more things. And there's a big difference between your needs and your wants. So I'm going to focus on my needs. And I want to do that this whole year, not just, I'm trying to train myself to not go out and blow money on stuff, and then that's part of the reason why also I'm incorporating the purging process. So it's not just a single facet. When I purge, I see what I actually blew money on, and I don't want to do that anymore because it makes me feel bad. So I don't want to do that anymore. It's not necessary. There comes a point, especially when you're older, where you have everything you want, and your needs aren't that much anymore either. Now, the same thing goes with the food. Uh, for me, it's a lesson learned that yes, I want enough food that if there's an emergency, that I won't go into a panic because I don't have anything to eat in my refrigerator and freezer. Lord knows none of us want that. I'll never be the kind of person that just shops for 1 week, and that's just not my nature because I don't like to plan ahead. I don't meal plan because I want to eat what I have a taste for that day. So if I don't want spaghetti on Monday and I don't want it the rest of the week, I'm not going to eat it. So I don't meal plan. I never have. I don't do large batch cooking either. I do, I'm a single person. My grandson and I don't eat the same things. So whatever I cook, I have to eat. So I do cook for maybe 1 or 2 extra meals. I do that. But otherwise, it gets too old. And I don't like to meal prep for a week either because I don't like to eat food that's more than 4 days old unless it's frozen. But that's just me. If you have a different way of doing things, that's wonderful. But I know myself and I know that's what I do. So it's going to be a big focus on not buying food for me. I don't need clothes, and that's why I'm purging my clothes because especially when I worked,
I have a lot of clothes. I had more. I had way more, but it's just ridiculous. I don't wear them anymore, and I can bless somebody else with them because I had so many clothes that none of them ever got worn out. You know, a lot of them are like brand new because I couldn't wear them all that quickly. I mean, I did wear them, but I wore them a few times and washed them a few times, but they never wore out. So in an upcoming video, I'm going to share with you some of my plans for no low buy. Some are no buy, some are low buy, but I plan on doing that for this coming up year and paying down the debt that I do have. I don't have a humongous amount of debt, but and throughout my life I've had debt. I've been debt free. I've gone back and forth. I'm not uncomfortable with what I do have, but I would prefer not to have debt, of course, because then I could save more money. But on the other hand, my focus at this point in my life is not to save and save and save. I want a comfortable life. I want to be able to pay my bills, to share uh, money with my family and friends, but I don't want to be a spendthrift and be in a lot of debt and have that worry that how am I going to pay for this? I want to be comfortable with my money. If I want to go on a vacation, then I'll go on a vacation if I can afford it. Right now I can't because I have this other stuff to pay down, and I find it stressful when I have a lot of money that I owe somebody. Now, it's probably going to come up in the future. I don't have a ton of money to just say, okay, I'm going to pay cash for this or cash for that. I kind of missed that boat for a while there, but I have to get this taken care of. So, my main goal with this coming up year is just not to have the stress of Christmas is coming and I don't have extra cash, and I don't want to disappoint my family, and just that kind of stuff that goes through your head. So that is my goal for the no spend, low spend that I'm going to be doing for this coming up year. It's not my first rodeo. I've done it before. I actually find it kind of fun to have a challenge, whether it's cooking down my food or, not spending money on a lot of things that are not meaningful to me. But it's not my goal to save and save and save because at my age, I don't know how long I'm going to live and I want to enjoy my life. So it's my goal to enjoy my life and have a little bit of a cushion, and that's it. So anyway, um, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself, be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.